Bonneville is probably the only place that when you hear about the place, you think about speed. We do nothing else here.
Today's a wonderful day to be at Bonneville.
This is a place the world understands. We've got Japanese people here, European people, South America. Everybody understands that. Everybody.
I am the Waz. I've been the track announcer here for 2 years, last year and this year. This is holy ground. All the people that are so famous, the Breedloves, Art Arfons, Dave Campos, who's got the fastest motorcycle record that was only broken, his record was only broken yesterday. The chance to be here and participate in this is priceless.
My name is Dennis Manning, and I've always wanted to have a truly international motorcycle event. When I first raced in England, you go through the pits and these different languages sort of sting the ear, and you realize that you're racing with the best. This is the best guy they've got to send, and I wanted that for here. I wanted us to have a truly international group of people and be able to set records that were truly world-class records. I own a company called Bub Enterprises, and we make exhaust pipes for motorbikes.
I'm Peter Manning. My dad is Bub. It's an old acronym for him, Big Ugly Bastard.
My first job when I was 14 years old, I worked for a man called Dutch Mueller. He was the Flying Dutchman.
My name is Willie Hodgson. I'm from San Jose BMW.
The only motorcycle dedicated land speed racing event is the place to be. I'm here, I love it.
And he called me the Big Ugly Bastard. And Bub evolved out of that for social reasons,
Bub Racing and Bub Enterprises has taken and made a motorcycle-specific event, and I think it's the best thing that could happen to Bonneville.
My dad's loved speed before I was born, that's for sure. He held the record when I was, like 3.
People are just awesome. They love to see something new and different, no matter what it is. If you could get a toilet to go 160, they'd be supportive, So no matter what you bring out, you always get a really positive feedback, and I think that's part of what makes Bonneville, Bonneville. I mean, you come out here and if you got a problem, you'll have 5 guys helping you out immediately, It's just, everyone's goal is just to go fast, and whether it's the guy that you're racing against helping you, or it's someone in a completely different class, everyone just butts heads and helps you get through what you got at the time. So that's kind of what makes Bonneville so special.
Bonneville's a place of determination. Bonneville's a place where people reach deep and do things that they'd never, ever thought of.
There's so much enthusiasm. Motorcycle people are different, they're technical, they're savvy.
The number one thing that I look for in a rider and in a crew is desire. Because that's where it's going to take you, places that nobody's ever been. And that's what this place is all about.
There's laptops in every one of these, and with BMW being here, with manufacturers taking notice of this.
This is a 78 R100. Today we're out here running our Airhead. We're going after a record which was set in STCA as well as AMA. Today it'll just be AMA. Just got done running and set a 162, which would be the record. So the class that it runs in is partial streamline, 1000 cc pushrod gas. I have to thank my father for all the R&D he did with the motor. I know we got a lot of titanium pieces, keep it light so it get at higher RPMs. It redlines at about 9.5, which is a little far from stock. So many things out here don't work that work in your garage, You run it, you start it, it runs great, you bring it out here and all of a sudden it doesn't start, and you did nothing. So it's lots of R&D and hard work.
And BMW being on the cutting edge fits right in.
Julian Bivin, Scottsdale, Arizona. This is the K1200 GT. I've had it 4 months, over 13,000 miles on it now. It's fast. We'll find out in a few minutes exactly how fast it'll be. It's a sport touring bike, but it's also one of the fastest sport touring bikes. I want to see what what the speed on the salt flats is.
Well, 160, you know, and they don't understand, you know, with the altitude and the salt. I mean, you take a bone stock bike out here and all of a sudden it doesn't start, you know?
My name's Bill Cannon. I'm all the way from England. I'm a BMW dealer there in Essex. It's east of London, about 30 miles outside of London. It was all the old airheads when I started, but things have changed a lot since then.
It's great when you see other Beamers out here, you know. Last year I think we drug out Brian Perriott's bike. He has a Power Cup.
We've been riding motorcycles forever, flat tracking for quite a few years. We thought we'd try this.
We're at 4,400 feet. The bike should do maybe 135, but I don't know. You know, if we get 120, I'd be surprised at this elevation and this hot a temperature. So this is a 96, 29,000 miles. As far as mechanical work on it, we put gas in the tank. So.
Think you could ride it across country to get here, do a good run, and then ride it home. They work. They just work.
Dave Cook, Coon Rapids, Minnesota.
Paul Cook, we're brothers.
There's some fast people here.
I guess you don't expect to see BMWs here. I know some of the history of BMWs, and of course when you go back years ago, they took loads of world records and they were really well known for it. It's great to see they're starting to get it back again.
And it's always good to see when someone else has come from the same brand, you know. I mean, but you come out here and it's not, you know, a dime a dozen like a lot of these other brands. So it's cool to have someone else out here.
We're going for a world record today. We got a great machine in this BMW K1200.
I like the fact that BMW's here. I love it. I think more the merrier. Bring it on. Come on, pump it up.
My name's Andy Sells and I'm from San Francisco, California.
Watch these motorcycles, see history, feel history.
The reason Bonneville is special, and not only to me, but special to, I think, the hearts and minds of people throughout the world, is it's the icon for speed as we know it. Starting from after World War II when the old hot rodders from Southern California and around the country started gathering here to build land speed racing and land speed racing events. This has been a place that I've heard of since I've been a child growing up. I've been racing at Bonneville for 5 years now. This is virtually a stock machine. The only addition that we've made to this bike over a stock bike is we've put a slightly larger tire on it, and it gave us a few more miles per hour at the same number of revolutions.
We've still got streamliners to run. The record is still up for grabs at this event.
Bonneville and the land speed record is interesting because in any other kind of racing, your first thing is you want to beat the second place guy so you can be first place. Here, you got to beat the best first place guy there ever was.
I contacted BMW to see if they wanted to enter, and they decided that Bonneville would be a great opportunity for them. We brought our bike out here in the 1200 and 1300 cc class.
The way this works is we're sitting now in the pre-staging area. From here we're going to move to the staging area, and we'll be one of 3 or 4 bikes. And when our number is called, we get out on the line. The track is ours, and we're going to be on the 3-mile course today because we can get it up to speed quick enough, and they'll trap us at the end at between mile 3 and mile 4. And then we have a couple of miles to slow down, but with ABS brakes, we could slow it down right away.
A lot of things go into prepping a bike. First of all, you need to start out with fresh fluids. You need to start out with a perfectly tuned bike. We're basically trying to make the bike run as stock as possible and see how fast that new K1200S can actually go on the salt surface.
If you're wailing through the gears hard and come up on it fast, it'll actually kick the rev limiter off a little bit quicker because it sees it coming up.
Okay.
If you sneak up on it, it's not like you're over revving it, you're coming up on it slow, so you'll eke a little bit more out of it.
That's good to know.
That's another thing, we're running just standard fuel. There is no fuel additive in there, but standard super unleaded 93 octane.
I'm just excited. I'm excited with the anticipation of getting out there, and I'm comfortable and confident because I've ridden the bike, I know the bike, and I just want to go out and make it happen.
When you run up to the line, you're the only person on the line, and the course is all yours, 5 miles long, and that can get your heart going pretty good.
There's a certain adrenaline rush of going to the starting line and somebody says, go as fast as you can. This is the only place you can do that.
To be honest, I have absolutely no fear as I roll the throttle on and begin to roll down the track. It's not a drag race here. You've got plenty of time to get up to speed, and then you get trapped further down on the track at mile 3. Get up to top gear quite early before the trap. So when I hit the speed trap, I've been in top gear generally for over half a mile.
You could race at a very famous race, and you can win if everybody else falls down or breaks or crashes or whatever. Here, no mercy. You have to be the best ever, period, stop.
The course is set up such you start at 0. You have 3 miles to get it up to speed, and then you're measured between mile 3 and mile 4. The average speed between mile 3 and mile 4, not your top speed, is the speed that you register.
And you've got to do it 2 ways inside of 2 hours, which is really hard.
When you're going down this track at 170 miles an hour, on the K12S, you have the opportunity to, believe it or not, at 170 miles an hour, enjoy what you're doing. There's no sense of nervousness. The bike gives so much response to me that the only thing I'm really thinking of is staying quiet and looking straight ahead and finding the point in the horizon that I'm heading to. And quite honestly, the most difficult thing I have to do is to remember to slow down, because it becomes so comfortable and so quiet, tucked underneath the shield and looking out through this plexiglass shield at this vast, open, white expanse. It almost takes your breath away, and you get lost in the peace of it all.
And you've got to go really, really fast. For us, it's what amounts to approaching 2 football fields a second. Really fast.
In fairly short order, we're able to get out there and make a number of passes at well over 170 miles an hour.
Hello, congratulations. Thank you very much.
And as it was, we walked away with the first FIM record here at Bonneville for the production class at 1200 cc. K12S performed just like it performs in the real world. It ran smooth and fast and consistent. We made more passes in one day than any of the other competitors. We just turned around and put it back out on the track. It just tracked beautifully, running the bike to its maximum, running the bike to its limit.
You can get on your motorcycle and go as fast as it bloody well will take you. And you'll come back and go, I think I'd go a little faster if I could. Right?
In fact, really, I'd like to go a lot faster, and I hope to do it someday.
And faster means new technology. You've got to have new technology to go faster.
I can't tell you about the people who have come here thinking they were going to go 200 miles an hour, 175 and got, I'll be back. This won't whip me. I can do this.
As the records are broken here every day, somebody else is going, okay, next year, I'm going to change this to make it better, to do this to make it better.
Certainly the bike is capable, in my eyes, of going well over 200 miles an hour and at the same security as at 170, and I'd like to have that opportunity to do it.
You kind of do get the self fever. You come out here one time, you're not really sure, and about a month after you came out here, you're just like, so when do we go next?
It's either park or drive, and nobody wants to be in park.
I've been all over the world when people ask me about this place. And then there's the odd person that comes to me and said, Dennis, thanks for pursuing a dream. I've watched you and your dream, and I'm glad you pursued it.
have the K12R at home. It's the fastest bike I've been on. I'll be bringing it up here next year, and I think we'll try for a world record. This is my first time.
We're at 4,400 feet. The bike should do maybe 135. If we get 120, I'd be surprised at this elevation and this hot a temperature. So, Dave Cook, Coon Rapids, Minnesota.
I have to thank my father for all the R&D he did with the motor. I think he just about opens and closes the shop every day, tinkering on this kind of stuff. So it definitely opens the door and allows the wheels to turn and the new ideas and the latest, greatest, so to speak.
Certainly BMW has a history of land speed racing that starts with Ernst Hanning. I was familiar with Ernst Hanning's world records. I was not cognizant of the fact that his record speed ultimately became the speed that we traveled at.
In pursuing the record, I have 5 of the fastest 11 bikes in history. It's a thing where, you know, once you get after it, you want to pursue it. And losing the record was tough, but getting it back is pretty sweet.